On the day before Thanksgiving, the family was celebrating happily for the holiday tomorrow. Outside, though, their turkey, Plumpy, was listening to the festivities, but he knew that he was going to be Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. Late into the night, the family went to sleep, and the turkey just sat in his nest thinking about the next day. Plumpy thought to himself, I'm not just going to sit back. I'm going to escape this little barn and go out into the wild. So at night, he set out. He climbed out of his nest and slowly crept out of his barn. It was chilly outside, but he had his fluffy feather coat on, so it didn't matter. Unfortunately, though, it was too dark outside for him to see anything. He sighed inwardly, knowing that his only chance was to get up early and escape in the morning. Plumpy slept in his nest, and after only a few hours, he quickly got up and waited for dawn. He didn't have to wait long before the first rays of the sun came up. There was no time to waste. Plumpy ran as fast as he could out of the barn and into the yard. Now he needed to find a way to get over the towering brick walls. He was a turkey and he couldn't fly well. He frantically looked around for anything that could help him. Then he saw it. A large stick that had blown over during the night, propped up against the wall. Plumpy quickly kicked stones around the stick, and after stabilizing it, he carefully put a talon on it. It held very firmly, and he slowly put his full weight on it. Plumpy slowly and carefully climbed up the branch, all the way up to the last bit where he had to jump onto the wall. Plumpy tried and tried again, but the branch shifted when he jumped. He decided to add more rocks to the base. After many long minutes of slowly rolling heavy rocks, Plumpy decided it was safe to try again. This time, he executed a perfect leap onto the wall. He stared out at the outside world. So this is what it's like out here, he whispered to himself. But then he snapped out of a trance and told himself to get to work. He had no time to waste because the farmer would come after him. Suddenly, he heard a sudden noise behind him. The farmer came back and was holding a huge net in his hands right behind him. Plumpy startled, and he screeched and fell off the wall. He frantically flapped his wings to slow his fall, but then he crashed into some moss on the other side. But the good news was that he was finally free. But what do I do now, he thought. What am I going to do about it? Can I go back to live there after today? Plumpy realized that he just had to survive for today and he could return tomorrow. Before he could do anything, another human came. He was tall and he was holding a small flat thing with black circles at him. Plumpy heard a click and the human went away, tapping the object. Plumpy started feeling hungry. It was past his normal eating time and he had no food. The human, though, soon came back and put him in a box. Oh, great. Now I'll be Thanksgiving dinner for another human, Plumpy thought irritably. He gobbled up the food and drank some water from the bowls in the box. All he could do was wait. Eventually, the human let him out, and he wandered the unfamiliar yard, trying to find an escape route once again, but this time there were none. Plumpy resorted to sulking under the trees and waiting. He ran around and became accustomed to the new terrain after a while, but soon it became dark, and he had to retreat to his box. The tall human came again, and he shrank against the box's wall. The human, however, did not do anything except for refilling his food and changing his water dish. Plumpy was confused, but he just didn't question it. He slept through the night, just waking up feeling clear and fresh. After sitting in the box for a while, he heard noises from outside of the box. Then, out of the clear stuff on the box's wall, he saw him, his old owner, coming to take him back with the other man. He clicked and squealed when he saw him. So then he realized that now that Thanksgiving was over, he could finally go back to his old life. Plumpy could return to his old nest, his old barn, and live peacefully. And then the farmer did take him back, and they lived happily for a long time together. The end.